Hey everyone, I'm sitting here along the Rambla, which is Montevideo's long riverfront boulevard. It runs the entire length of the city from downtown to the suburbs, and they say it's the longest continuous street or sidewalk in the world. I don't know if that's true, but it's definitely the living and breathing lungs of the city, and where people tend to assemble and hang out, exercise. You can see there's sort of a beach area behind me that people, sit on when the weather is right. It's a little gray today and about 20 degrees Celsius, that's 68 Fahrenheit for those of you in the United States. Now, what's interesting about the Rambla and about Uruguay in general is the way it's used, and people really just use the Rambla, and they use their parks to just chill and hang out. You go and you meet your friends. And what's interesting to me about that is that when Uruguayans go out and socialize, they don't necessarily feel the need to do anything the way we do in the United States. You know, Americans, Canadians will tell you, well, let's meet for coffee. Let's meet for dinner. Let's meet to do something. Well, here in Uruguay, people are just happy to meet you and just talk, catch up, hang out for an hour on the Rambla. You bring maybe a snack, bring a drink. Uruguayans, of course, famous for drinking mate, which is a sort of green herbal tea-like drink. And that's it. They just hang out, they just chill. And that was a bit of a surprise for me when I got here, when people invited me to the Rambla. And then I said, okay, so I'll meet this person at this point on the Rambla and we'll go somewhere. No, we just stayed there and hung out. And then it became kind of refreshing, this idea that we don't quite have to plan so much the way we do in North America. Anyway, but it also often brings up something in my groups. When people ask me a question like, all right, well, John, how do I say Rambla in English? How do you translate that? And the reality is that in some ways you really don't. I mean, sometimes I will translate it as waterfront or shoreline or riverfront, since it is the Rio de la Plata here, and even though it's very wide, I mean, dozens and dozens of kilometers wide, you cannot see Argentina on the other side of it at this point. It's still fresh water, so it's the riverfront. But there really is no way to translate this, and especially when you think about it, it's also a question of almost a state of mind, not just a geography. So, I'm going to stand up now, and I'll do a little turn, and you can see at least this portion of the Rambla behind me. And you see now is a big wide sidewalk, promenade, apartment buildings, and the street behind me that runs, like I said, all the way from the old downtown of the city out to the suburbs. Anyway, another day here in Montevideo. Speak with you again soon.